It's frustrating because it isn't like we do a whole bunch of different things on the red zone. And as you look at the UNLV game, a couple self-inflicted wounds in terms of mistakes that we shouldn't make, and so I would hope it's not confusion, but you got to look at yourself as a coach and look at the players and say, okay, where's the miscommunication coming from? This is what we want you to do and you're not doing it. So is it a teaching error? Is it an understanding execution error? And so we got to make sure that we know exactly what we want to do. If they beat us doing what we want to do, then take your hat off to them. But we can't have unforced errors in the red zone, especially with the simplicity that we really pride ourselves in what we do in the red zone.
From what you've seen of him in practice, what do you think his readiness is to play a long stretch in the game if he had to, and what are the things you see that he's doing well?
Yeah, I think, listen, he doesn't have an option. We don't have an option.
Yeah.
If something happens to Drew Pine, Steve won in the game, and we have the utmost confidence in him. We have, one thing I spent a lot of time with Coach Reese is that what is our package we have for Steve Angeli? We're not going to ask him to do everything we ask Drew Pine to do, but we have to give him enough that he has a chance to be successful, but also make sure it's small enough that we're not asking him to be confused and do things that he's not capable of doing. And so we had the utmost confidence in him. I think he had confidence in himself. I was kind of joking with him yesterday, like, man, you sure you're ready to go? So, come on, coach, I was in for one play and we scored a touchdown. We're good to go. And so, then the second response was, coach, it wasn't too hard to hand the ball off. Next time, let me throw it a little bit. And so he's a confident kid, and that's important, man. You have to have confidence as you take the field, but he didn't blink an eye, and if something happens where he needs to go in the game, we're going to be ready to roll.
Last week, is there a new point this week?
Urgency. It is, as I told them, it's not urgency to start the game. Now it's urgency throughout the entirety of the game. We start the game, I think at halftime it might have been 37-ish. I can't remember the exact score, but we were up pretty big at halftime, and then you look at the second half, we ended up tying. And that's, to me, a sign of a dominant football team is a team that no matter what the series is, what the score is, you're able to really be effective in what you're doing. And so we have to continue to be a mature football team and progress towards improvement and progress towards being a dominant football team. And I think that's what you look back at that game and you say, okay, we did have a sense of urgency. We did, and how do we continue to have that throughout the entire game? And so I said the same thing in practice yesterday, is that you lose and everybody has a sense of urgency. We're all looking at things with a critical eye. Do we have that same critical eye this week? We have to. And that comes from the top down and making sure that every critical thing we looked at last week, the sense of urgency we have, we got to increase that. We got to enhance that. And that starts with me, and I want our guys to understand that. Don't let this feeling, because you've earned the right to feel good. Winning helps you feel better, right? But that shouldn't take away from the evaluation, the preparation, the urgency you have to improve.